Welcome to the Breakaway Artist Society. Let's go! An independent podcast for independent artists by independent artists.
Watch the show, y'all.
Welcome to the society. Welcome back to another episode of the Breakaway Artist Society podcast, formerly known as Artists at Work. And I actually have a former guest here by the name of Reckless, who was on the second episode of the first podcast episodes ever. It's been 4 years.
Too long. It's been harder to get a hold of you than any other platform.
So, real quick, I got to make sure that we let everyone know, who are you? Who is Reckless? What does RecklessDWR stand for? Where are you from?
Okay. Well, as you see in the title description, my name is RecklessDWR. I'm from Gilroy, California. DWR standing for Devilish Ways Recordings, which is the label I'm originally signed to.
Yep.
And I do interviews to different artists around this area, as well as like Central Valley and occasionally SoCal, if I ever get the privilege to be able to conduct interviews from artists from over there. I also am a music critic. I've been a music critic for quite a while, even before I got into like this collective called Notyamanz that I'm a part of. I've always just been a huge fan of music, so I'm always going to have some opinions on it. So I decided to like give my unsolicited opinions out to the world on the internet. So that's another thing I do. And I'm also, just a pretty chill dude, all around.
So I know that you interview other artists. Do you have like a podcast name for what you do for that specifically?
Interestingly enough, I don't officially have one. I mean, I have a placeholder name for it. I call it the Smooth Interviews.
Yeah.
I don't really like promote it as much. I also just say it's an exclusive interview. So people usually know them as my exclusive interviews. Whenever I'm on, outside in the wild, people recognize me. They say, "Oh, I seen your interview, the exclusive interviews." Like, okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, I should have put a name to this,
I
from
mean,
the get go.
It is,
Yeah,
it's always developing.
It is, but it was spontaneous how I even got started doing that because originally, my boy, shout out to Bam Bam, he wanted an interview, and he was complaining how he wasn't able to get interviews for him. So I said, why don't I just interview and put you on my YouTube? Since I got my YouTube finally like ready to go, just to like be able to comment and do stuff. And I was like, I can just upload my channel, all these videos, and so I might as well start with this one. So I interviewed him. It was pretty spontaneous and just like straightforward. It was like pretty cool, like experience. And it was like, all right, I must keep doing this. And I wanted other people who haven't had a platform and have dope music to also be interviewed. So like I also interviewed my boy Joseph Save, shout out to the boy.
Yep.
And a bunch of other people around. You were on one of the first ones as well.
Yeah, we probably gotta like
we need to redo that one. That was when I was first getting the hang of stuff.
But no, it's good. We're always growing and developing, and you know what I mean. Like our first interview during the pandemic, so
that was pretty gnarly.
That was pretty bad. Like the audio on Zoom is so bad.
I know, and then just the quality is not always the best. Kind of grainy at times. Lags and all that.
Spotty, pixelated, whatever. Yeah. So it's cool to just catch up and to be able to actually have you again on the podcast. Yeah, so thank you for coming on.
Of course.
I have a few different questions for you.
Okay.
But I think the first one I'm going to ask you about is like what is the thing you're most focused on right now, and how are you contributing to music?
Right now, my main music is what I'm really like focused on right now. I took a little slow backseat when it came to like interviews and music critiquing because like I took a lot of my time during the last year and I wasn't really focused on my music as much as I should have. So I really delayed a lot of stuff. So when I was able to finally put out my last project, which is right there, the Chasin A Bag, available now in all streaming, hit me up for a hard copy, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And when it came to that, I was just like, I need to put out more music because it felt good dropping this project.
Yeah.
And I had a great reception. It's been my most successful project to date. Just today I checked and I just hit 100,000 streams on this project on all streaming. So it's a pretty good accomplishment. And I was like, I got to focus more on that because I got so many albums that I need to drop. So like one of them is almost done. So I just got to just focus on it. Hopefully I drop it in the next month or so. It's coming really soon.
Yeah.
And with that, and then also did a bunch of features for like my cousin Tragic One.
Yeah.
Shout out to the homie.
Yep.
And a bunch of other artists that are in my little circle. So I was like, I gotta put out more material because I really like the experience of seeing people's reactions to it, people how they enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So right now that's my main focus. I did drop a new interview, but that was because that was something I've been working on since last year, and
Okay.
it was like my longest interview to date. So it took a long time to even like make sure to get edited and everything
Yeah.
about it. So it's like
Yeah.
it was overwhelming, plus
No,
my responsibilities
I
and stuff.
feel it.
So
I feel it because I'm always juggling many different things,
yeah.
and I can totally like relate to that.
Mhm.
So ironically, like our first episode was kind of about like I think the album we were talking about like took 4 years or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that.
A lot of my albums take a long time to drop. I don't just drop it just to drop. I make sure everything's perfect. I'm very critical of it, and I'm
Yeah.
very like perfectionist on it, which some people say it's a bad thing, but
Mm.
I've seen people who drop a bunch of stuff, in the wrong way, and it's just like no one's gonna listen to that, because
Yeah.
they just want to have their name and they expect to blow up from it, and then they get mad if they don't. So
Yeah.
I don't want to be that kind of jaded artist. So I just make sure when I put something out, it's for a reason and it's something I'm gonna be proud of to like look back on and
Mhm.
promote. Which a lot of all my projects I was just thank God I am.
Yeah.
Even if I wasn't up to the par as an artist that I should have been,
Yeah.
I've gotten better over the years. It's still something I was proud of to even say, "Oh, I put out this project.
Yeah.
I put this out." You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing I'm gonna just be ashamed of. So that's why it takes a long time,
Right.
but the end result's always worth it.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was kind of the thing that I admired about how you work, but
Mhm.
I probably wouldn't take that long to do an album. Otherwise,
No, most people wouldn't.
I'd kick myself. But like, I took a break too as well. But
Uh-huh.
like, the reason why I was saying that that's what I admire that
Mhm.
you take the time to like actually print it out.
Mhm.
I was reading some of the credits in the back of
Mhm.
like, you had it professionally mastered.
Mhm.
Um, I know like sometimes you even take time to put like little Easter
Yeah, I
eggs,
do.
which that's what I'm gonna ask you next is
Uh-huh.
like, what are some of the Easter eggs that you are willing to share?
None on camera, unfortunately. I don't
No?
I don't give out any just for their Easter eggs. You gotta figure
Okay,
them out. You gotta
okay.
check it out and really invest in it. Cause back in the day, that's what it was. Like a lot of artists when they have their project come out, it was a whole showmanship thing. You
Right.
have your merch and your hard copies that are an extension of the project. And that's why people like resonated with a lot of projects back in the day.
Yeah.
Nowadays, albums come and go. It's on all streaming, so they can't. There's nothing
Well,
in
they
their
don't even print
hand.
it
They don't even print it
nowadays.
most of the
Yeah.
time, But when they do, it's even half-assed. Just one little paper or one little booklet. There's nothing really in
Yeah.
it, and like people don't really gravitate toward it. I remember when I first bought Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory, and I looked inside the booklet, and there was a whole lyrics, incredible artwork that stuck in my mind
Right.
forever, and it's just like something that really attached me to it. It's like, all right, if I just heard just the music, like that's cool, but then like when I had the whole thing, it's like, whoa, it's a different experience, and I want to give that to people who would take the time to check my music out,
Mhm.
check the project out, and then people tell me like, "Hey, just noticed this in your booklet. There's something in there. I didn't know." Oh yeah, that's a little extra, a little
Yeah.
treat for you, because not just in the music you get treats, but also in the physical form. I want to be able to give extra bang for
Yeah.
your buck if you're taking a chance on me.
Yeah. And to speak a little bit more on that, to add on to that, is
Mhm,
like we come from a different generation where
mhm.
that's where that
Yeah.
experience it wasn't just like about listening to the music, but
Mhm,
also feeling like actually connected to it. You
mhm,
know what I mean? So that's kind of one of the cool things too. But you definitely got to let people know that yes, there are Easter eggs on this
mhm,
album. Not just in the music, but actually on the physical copy, like
mhm.
in the booklet and stuff like that.
Most definitely.
So
A lot of my label mates projects do the same thing. There's always something in there that you probably will notice at first glance, but once you take the time to really explore it, you'll find little things there. Especially my next project, I put a shit ton more than I've ever done on any other
okay,
project. So there's a lot to look forward to that one. You
okay,
know what I'm saying? Like I'll probably tell you off camera some of them,
that's fine.
but I want people to really like search for them. It's a treasure hunt, so to
Yeah.
speak.
But I also wanted to just point that out is like that's kind of something I want to maybe expand a little bit more on
Mhm,
because like nowadays people are just like you're trying to like race against the machine in a sense. Like you're
mhm,
fighting against the machine of trying to like how fast can you get a project out, EP album, how like fast can you create content
mhm.
around it
Yeah.
and then it's like on to the next thing.
Yeah, that's a thing that a lot of artists are, forced to deal with all the time. Even I've come to like, my experiences with it. But one thing that I've learned that I try to like keep in mind, which is why I take a long time on my projects, is like what the rapper Woody used to say, like good music will self promote itself.
Mm,
You can promote the shit out of something and it's a piece of shit album. And then the people hear it, word of mouth is gonna kill that. Like, no, that's whack. Don't check that out.
yeah.
So like, as much even though you put uh so much projects out, it doesn't really matter because they're all the same quality. People don't like it, it's not really gonna stand the test of time. You
Yeah.
know, so like if it's you take your time to craft something you really like, that's passion that comes from you. You're not thinking about what's gonna catch an algorithm faster, what's gonna make sure it's gonna have good content, what's gonna be memeable, what's gonna be whatever.
Yeah.
You can't deal with that because then
People are gonna let you know whether they like. That's really what it comes down to. I was watching. I forgot what. I think it was like the artist playbook or the master's playbook or something like that. That podcast. But Russ is talking about how like the people will let you know if the music's good. Like, cause you could also like be 100% like happy with it, but if it don't like connect with someone, then they're just like hear it once and then like pass it on. You know what I mean?
You know, but a lot of artists that try to come back and go with that mentality. I got to make sure I make something that people like.
Yeah.
That's not really gonna help you out in the long run. You may, because you're not even probably gonna be proud of it. You just be like, okay, this works. I think this works, so I'm gonna just put it out.
Yeah.
And then when it doesn't, you get discouraged. And it's not a reflection on your talent and you know what you're capable of doing.
Yeah.
So you're approaching it the wrong way. You just approach it how you feel will like make you proud of it and will make you like, you know, like enjoy it. So and if that will reflect on the listener, they'll pick up on that. They know the intention. They can hear in the recording. Like if you enjoyed making this song, if you enjoyed making this project, it's gonna reflect in the music. And if you don't, it's like whatever, they'll pick it up and they'll be like whatever.
Yeah. So. Or you could kind of tell like last night I found a song on Instagram and I was like, oh, that like hook, it's super catchy. So like I'm like driving home with my husband. I'm like, put this song on. And then we're like listening to it and it's just like the only thing about the song that's good is the hook.
Yeah.
Like the verses were like a 5 minute, you could tell it was like a 5-minute session. Like it was really bad. And I was like, dang, I don't think I want to add that song to my playlist. I'm not going to go back and listen to it. Like that song is tailored for just the Instagram reel.
Most I'll just make it as my story reel or like on TikTok, I'll make something of it, you know. But other than that, like, you know, it's not really going to do much anymore. It's like, it's got history repeats itself. Like in hip hop back in the early 2000s, there was like a dark age where people were just making songs for like ringtones to be sold.
Yeah.
And that was like the ringtone era. So the main hook will be the catchy part and the rest will be whatever. And then songs would just be one-hit wonders. There's so many one-hit wonders during that period.
But I would argue even some of the verses were actually better than what's coming out now.
Debatable. I mean, the Jib song, for those who know, you remember Jibs?
No.
Exactly. You know, my chain hang low, the Jib
okay.
It's like you don't remember the name of the person. You know, you just remember that jingle.
That's actually true, yeah.
The rest of the bars, if you really hear it, it's nonsense. It's like gobbledygook. Like there's nothing there.
That's hella funny. Dang, yeah.
And now the same thing. TikTok generation. What can be made into a dance? What can be made into a meme? What can be made into like a little soundbite for stories? You know,
that's true. Yeah,
those count for streams.
That's true.
So like people want to make that as like catchy as possible, so the stream money go up. Make the songs as short as possible, so they can loop it. You know, and just put this to your playlist. Like Justin Bieber kind of did the innovation of, well, it's not really innovation, kind of like detriment. Where like stream my song Yummy so I can get number one.
Oh, so he was like play it in your sleep.
Yeah, make sure it's a low volume. Put it in the playlist.
That's pretty bad.
Like
that was like a shameful moment.
It was, because then it inspired everyone else. Like that's how you do it. I'm gonna just do that.
Or
too.
like getting bots and like paying for streams. Yeah. But even then, now they're cracking down on that, and then you have like the whole thing with AI. But that's like a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole nother monster
but
right there.
I definitely want to get back to this album because you're also, it's a collaboration album, right? You're working with Lazyboy. So for a lot of people who don't know who Lazyboy is, we're out here in the Bay Area. Just give a little background since he's not here to kind of speak on who he is.
Yeah, of course. Lazyboy is one of the biggest up and coming artists from San Jose, California. He's been doing it for many years. He's right now he's even like getting a lot of notoriety due to like a couple songs that he did, like, you know, addressing certain like artists in the industry and stuff. Like he's been like really big out here in the San Jose area predominantly. Like he's been like the biggest figure that's been like successful out of here. And it's like I got the chance to meet him like before like a lot of the hype that's going on right now. And like I was really like privileged to be able to like not only do an interview, an album, but also an interview. I interviewed him twice. You know, for my channel. And like from there, we got a cool relationship, and we decided, you know, hey, if you want to do a project, you know, let me know. We'll get it together. And then I said, yeah. So then we've been working on this project for a while, and like, you know, now it's out, and it's just been, you know, really dream come true to make something like that. Because I always wanted to work as an artist from San Jose, and this was like a big opportunity, you know what I'm saying? So really dope to have that happen.
So have you were you in the studio with him, or was it kind of just like some songs you were present or he was present and other songs it's
Mhm.
like passing files, you know?
No, it was all in the studio. I went to
Okay.
my studio, the studio. My boy, shout out to This Is Chris. I went to the studio with him, and he and I worked together on like how to craft the project, what beats, what kind of sound we're going for,
Yeah.
and like I was seeing him work in the studio. It's like one of the dopest like things that not a lot of people
I was
get
gonna
to
ask
see.
you that,
Yeah,
like
because
seeing his process, you
yeah,
know?
because like a lot of the stuff you hear, like it's very melodic. He does a lot of melodic music, and
Yeah.
like you think that takes a long time to craft the kind of like a catchy hook, because a lot of his songs like do get like really like popular, and a lot of people's plays. They get a lot of streams because they're really dope and catchy and melodic.
Yeah.
And seeing him how he constructs it, like it's just like it's a trip. Like he doesn't like write music down. He just goes in there and just feels what he feels on the beat,
Yeah.
and then he just comes out and he like, okay, hold on, I got some, and then he starts with the hook first, and then he extends later to the verses, and it just becomes a really dope like process. And he does it quick. It's like full complete thoughts on wax without any like need for pen and paper or overthinking stuff. It's just whatever he felt, and he knows
Mhm.
when it's gonna be good. And he even was able to call like on a song on here. He's like, "This song here is gonna do the best. This is probably the best song on the project."
Mm.
And I was just like, okay, like because I'm thinking like it's still a little too early to call it.
Yeah.
But then once it
But he
dropped,
could
and I
feel it. He's
yeah,
like,
he
"I
felt,
already
and I enjoyed
know."
it too. Like his hook was crazy on the song's called "I'm Good." If you just want to check it out, like when I see the result in the streaming analytics, that song blew every other
Yeah.
song over out the water, and I was like, yo, he called it. Like that was
Yeah.
such a good ass song too.
So he's
So
already in tune with his craft.
yeah, he knows what his craft is. He knows what the best kind of songs for him will be. He just knows everything about his artistry. Like he knows what's gonna work and what's best for him, and he knows what he's capable of doing. He knows
Yeah.
what he probably is like his weaknesses are, but he knows how to overcome them as well. So he's done songs that before he probably wasn't comfortable with, but now he can do them like nothing. It's just really dope to see that.
So from that experience, like how has that inspired you for your own personal art?
It made me think not to overthink when it comes to hooks, because hooks have always been kind of like a tougher thing for me to do.
Mhm.
Because it comes and goes. Like when I get a good hook, I was like, yes, I'm able to do it, and it feels good. I can do it.
Yeah.
Then I try to do it for another song, it doesn't hit immediately. So I'm just like, what do I do? And it's like should I just like put a sample in there, or just have someone sing it, someone else do the hook,
Yeah, I feel
because
it.
I like to construct verses. I like the main meat of the song more than
Right.
anything. So
Right.
that's when I get creative. That's when I want to be able to convey stuff. And the catchiness of it is something I need to work on more, and which I think I've gotten better over the years. But seeing him how he's flawless and the way he explained how it happened, because when you start, like you're not gonna be an expert, but when you catch rhythm, you know how to do it, and he
Right.
was able to figure it out. And there's no one way to do it. You got to
Right.
find what works for you, and
Right.
like what worked for him, was dope to see. So I got to find what works for me.
Right. And I
Mhm.
can definitely hear on this project like your delivery is a lot
Mhm.
smoother,
Yeah.
and like it's kind of hard to gauge too because like your projects are like years apart from each other, but
Mhm.
you could definitely hear like the progression and like how you've gotten better,
Mhm.
like and that's only the projection of where you're going. You just
Yeah.
get better and better the more that you practice, the more that you experiment. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you just
definitely.
get into it. So what's your favorite song on the project?
My favorite song on the project, it's either between Choppers and Gleeks, which is the last song on the project. It's
Yeah,
like one of my
that one's sick. Yeah.
yeah, it's like one of the coolest songs I've done on there. And also another favorite song of mine is "Been Down." 'Cause that was the first song we worked on. That was the first beat that
Yeah.
my boy Chris put on for us to like consider for the project, and it just hit immediately. And like it was just like one of my favorite things, like topic wise, that I was talking about. Just give
Yeah.
me a shout out to my boy who passed away. Rest in peace to Efrain Fregoso.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So that was like a really cool song for me, but a lot of the songs I really enjoy, so it's kind of hard. I even like um I'm Good. That's like one of the best performing song, which is like really dope. His cook was catchy. It was the first time I tried to do kind of like some singing at all, like a
Yeah.
full verse singing, which is something that I've always kind of like was intimidated by doing,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm not a singer.
I
I'm
feel
not the
it.
best
I'm the
voice, but I
same
was
way
like, fuck it,
sometimes.
why not try it? And it, I was surprised that it was the best
Yeah.
performing song. Like, really? I didn't
Hey.
ruin it? Like, all right, cool.
Sometimes like you think too much in your mind, like as an artist,
Yeah.
but people will tell you like, "Yo, that one was it. I like with that
Yeah.
one." You know what I
We're
mean?
our worst critic, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So speaking of critics,
Yeah,
Mr. Music Critic,
that's right.
I chimed in, or I didn't chime in. I'm sorry. I tuned in.
Hmm.
I tuned into Notyamanz
Oh yeah.
critical album review.
Oh yeah, we crazy out here.
I'm curious. I want to bring that up because
Hmm.
you are part of that team,
Hmm.
and like sometimes it could be like a type of way because it's like it's your art,
Hmm.
but at the same time too, it's hip hop. This kind of comes with the territory of
Yeah,
people like
naturally,
have an opinion about your music. So you got a 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
I believe so. He was just like there's nothing really new that you guys are talking about,
Hmm.
and it wasn't really anything on there that kind of wowed him, I guess.
Yeah.
Not like particularly that's his words, but for the most part, it's kind of like what he was saying. It's like it just was like another like album, but it wasn't like something I guess for him. But
Hmm.
it's all subjective too.
No, definitely,
But I'm
yeah.
curious, like, what are if you have any thoughts that
Mhm.
you haven't like shared
Uh-huh.
on the album
No, yeah,
review?
definitely. Like it was cool. Shout out to WJP for reviewing the project. He was a OG Notyamanz alumni reviewer, one of the OG reviewers. That was like one of the harshest ones too. You know what I'm saying? Like it was cool to have him, come out to, review one album for the one time. It was my project, unfortunately, so it got a lower score. But it's fine because like it let me know, like, because when it comes to like the criticism, it's constructive. So
Yeah.
there's stuff that I can like take from that. So like, you know what? Yeah, like, it wasn't anything new. It was something new for me because I haven't
Mm.
really done that kind of music,
Mhm.
and like it might have been like, kind of redundant basically if you like if you listen to like what's mainstream, it's kind of the same
Yeah.
type of sound. So I could probably see why it probably wasn't anything new to him.
Mhm.
But it's fine because like I think I made a competent album.
Mhm.
Like overall, it doesn't have to be like the best album in the world for
Mhm.
everybody's ears. Some
Yeah.
people might not like that kind of music. He seems like he listened to more like boom bap type of music, which is dope, still
That's
dope.
true,
So
yeah. They're on the East Coast, right?
yeah, plus
So
the East Coast don't really particularly like West Coast beats unless it's like The Alchemist, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
like it's to be expected, but it was really cool to see that anyway. And it also motivates me to just try harder. Like, all right, maybe the next one I'll get it.
Okay.
Plus it was like a collab project. So like, I want to know what my solo stuff is gonna be like, rated. So it's fine.
Who produced? Is it like one producer or is it like a bunch of different?
I know it's multiple. Like we
Okay.
have like my boy this is Chris did a bunch of beats on there. Bear and the Beat is the one who did the beat for Choppers and Gleeks.
Okay.
I also have Fangus did a beat on there. I also got the homie 3D. He did a bunch of beats on there. That was really dope.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm missing one more producer, but like it was a bunch of people that collaborated to make this. People who know Lazyboy sound came through to contribute, and
Yeah.
then like my little camp and also submitted some stuff. So like it was like a mix between both. I didn't want it just to be one sound. I wanted it to be like collaborative of what would it sound like if Reckless and Lazyboy mixed their styles together to make one project, and I think it
Okay.
meshed pretty well.
I'm curious too, and I kind of want to like ask this question for some of the viewers that may be still kind of like maybe new to like
Mhm.
trying to figure out how to do all this stuff with music. So, like, how was your process putting this project together? Because sometimes it could be overwhelming not thinking about like your budget, not
Mhm.
thinking about like split sheets, where you're going to distribute it, pitching it to like other artists for collaborations. Like, can you
Mhm.
kind of touch on, you don't have to like go into depth all crazy, but just
Mhm.
kind of touch on how, like, if someone was asking you, like, how did you put this project together? Like, what are
Mhm.
the steps that you did?
Oh, one thing you got one of the first steps I do, like if, for example, if you are completely fresh, you just haven't done no experience in music, just try to get with a community of people who do music.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can have like at least some kind of like support system to like guide you of how to go about it. Maybe if somebody has a studio,
Yeah.
might not be the best studio in the world, but at least it's somewhere to record. And you gotta also accept that your first stuff is probably not gonna be the best stuff ever. It's gonna be trash. It's gonna be something you probably will embarrassed about, but it's something that you have to start somewhere. You can't just immediately just start and be the next Nas. Like it's very far few in between. You got to be completely born with that talent to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Even some people who have that talent need to learn song structure. They need to learn like how to record in the studio, etiquette in the studio. They got to learn like how to approach making a project or of any kind of caliber, whether it be an album, EP, or just want to put out a single to promote it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to know like where you want to go with it and like have the right support system around you. Like that's what I did. I got together with my cousin because he was already in the music game for quite a while before I even jumped in.
Yeah.
So like with him, I was able to like get introduced to people who have the studios, who have the production that they can like provide, who are rapping, so they can gauge where I'm at. And you got to be okay with letting them know the brutal honesty of where you're at, if you're good or not, if you sound good, if they tell you to quit. And if like you don't want to quit,
or you gotta tighten it up.
You gotta tighten it up. It's like, hey, whatever, prove them wrong. Use that as a challenge. And if you still suck, I guess that's all she wrote. But like, you gotta be able to have that, tough skin, got the community behind you, and know the direction you want to go. Because if you don't know, you're gonna be lost, and you're gonna be trying a bunch of stuff, and it's a waste of time, and it takes a lot of money to do it. Not everyone's gonna give you a studio for free. So you gotta also understand that you want to. Also, at one point, if you feel like you've gotten better, you got to take that step to go to the next level. You got to be able to invest in yourself. You got to be able to pay for a better person to record you. You got to be able to, like, if you want to put hard copies out, you got to learn to save money to be able to purchase the kind of stuff you need. You got to learn Photoshop or find someone who knows graphics. You got to go out there and just meet people.
Or get a Canva.
Get a Canva, do what you gotta do. I don't see. She can even teach me
get
some
an app.
Stuff.
Get a little app on your phone and just make a little
do some
album
GarageBand on your band. Do something.
Hey,
it doesn't really matter.
I've had a few like friends along the way, like in college, working on BandLab, Bandcamp, or not Bandcamp, putting their music on Bandcamp, but like BandLab, GarageBand. That's the one I was trying to think of. But it sounded like decent. You know what I mean? Like it has enough for you to get started.
Like you put your name out there, get something going. And when you want to be serious and put out like a full length solo LP, that's when you gotta like step your game up. All right, I want to be able to have this sound, this quality.
Yeah,
you gotta learn like who's gonna be able to mix it good, who can master it good, and like try to find a way to like either get your money together to be able to like download either like a DistroKid or a United Masters. Or in my case, I was able to meet people who were able to get me a distribution deal with Empire.
Yeah.
So I can be able to do it that way and have opportunities, to be able to like further my music and get access to certain stuff, whether it be features, producers, or even like to like submit music for like anything, like for movies or 2K, whatever.
Yeah.
Like you got to be able to go to that step once you are able to know you're at the level you want to be at, or at least getting there.
Right.
So.
Are you guys gonna be doing music videos for this project?
There's one video I'm really trying to get together. It just takes a lot of like planning because he's a lot more busy now.
Yeah.
Especially like he's gotten like a lot more notoriety since he gotten like on platforms like No Jumper, Vlad TV, and stuff like that. So he's gotten a lot bigger. So his schedule's like much tighter. But we do have a video plan for it. And I think it's gonna be a really good one. I don't want to give away too much yet of what song it's gonna be, because I want to like surprise people. But I think it's gonna be a good song. So, but it is coming. I do have videos coming.
So you did mention that you had a distribution deal with Empire.
Yeah,
Empire is out here in San Francisco. I'm sure they got like a few other spots like out in the different like areas of the United States. But how did that come about? Has that been a thing, or just kind of curious if it has something to do with this project or not?
Shout out to my boy Trouble's Music. He's actually the one who hooked me up with the distribution deal with him through an artist deal with them, like a label deal. So like just working with him over the years, and like being able to be a part of Trouble's Music also, by the whole little like community. So like I was able to like get a distributor through him. So like we worked together on that, which is like. This project was able to get about Empire, and our new project's going to be on Empire. So like just shout out to him for putting me on to that, because before that I wasn't sure how to stream. So I go with DistroKid, or I go with United Masters. But that was also an option, thankfully, to working with him. So I just took the opportunity to do it.
Okay. Now another educational moment right here for the people who don't know what the heck a freaking distribution deal is. It just goes over their head. Can you explain a little bit what that is and what it means for you as an artist?
Well, what it is basically being able to get your music on several different streaming platforms like Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, and a bunch of other like YouTube Music and stuff. And through certain people, like whether it be Empire, United Masters, like they're a company that puts out the music they're the ones who they're like your middleman, so to speak. So like if you didn't know how to go about it, like they were able to do it. And especially with Empire, you have a lot of access to a lot of artists who are part of Empire. So through him, I can be able to reach out to artists who are on there much easier than if like I wasn't. And it was like like, oh, I'm gonna hit them up in a DM on Instagram, and
Mhm.
you might get an answer, you might not, or it's just like certain avenues are open, as far as I understand it, to be able to like elevate your music a lot more and be able to have that backing. People see the empire, it's like, oh, you're part of empire, so
Yeah, yeah.
it gives you more like notoriety and views more than anything else. So like it's a really cool thing. Like it depends on what you want to do too. Like if you want to go the route of like being more famous or more like known in your area, whatever you want to do,
Mhm.
like that's kind of a really good way to go. But United Masters is also another great option as well. They also have other opportunities too
I've
there.
heard things about United
I've heard a lot of things about a lot of
Masters.
stuff, but like, from what I heard a lot of good things about United Masters. I heard some of the stuff about it too, but they also have options too that people they can take advantage of, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
I haven't been part of United Masters, so I can't
I'm
really
just
tell
curious,
you,
'cause
you
like
know.
the label I'm working with right now, I'm an
Mhm,
engineer for this label, but they
mhm.
they do not talk good about the
They
United
know. Oh
Masters. But
man.
to poke back at you for
Yeah.
some of the people that may, think this in their mind or comment
Mhm,
is like, but Reckless,
mhm,
if distribution is like kind of open now, CD Baby, DistroKid,
mhm.
why sign for a distribution deal?
Well, because as far as I understand it, like, it's just like um you have a lot more like with Empire. Like I'm able to go with Troubles and he can talk to certain people in Empire to like give me certain things where compared to CDB, which I was on before,
Mhm.
it was all on me. Like I didn't know who to talk to, and there's like nothing else really like, it wasn't like laid out for me. Like,
Mhm.
I can take advantage of this and that. There probably was, but it wasn't like, like that evident for me to see that,
Mm.
and I can imagine other artists who are fresh too. They're probably just like overwhelmed with everything. They're like, what? Where do I go? It's just like,
Yeah.
where do I find my music? That's all I want to know. Like, it's kind of hard, but with like Empire, through Troubles, I was able to like at least have someone there to help you out and know what to do, how to upload it, and do it yourself and stuff. And
Yeah.
like, it's just like a better experience in my opinion, like, to do that. I mean, you can go the other way around. You can always find a way to learn and be able to like make something work for you. If City Baby works for you, you can go through City Baby.
Mm.
Empire works for me, so I am sticking with Empire. So
Yeah. I think a lot of people use DistroKid too. I
yeah,
don't like DistroKid. I will just
I
make that
remember you
statement.
were on this skip for a while.
I'm
So
gonna make that statement known.
just trashing all the
Um,
systems.
yeah, I know I mean, hey, a lot of these distribution companies, they
Hmm.
don't have good terms of services either. So
Hmm.
it could be a benefit, like hooking up with a label that maybe you don't want a specific type of deal, but you just need help with distributing it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's like where that can kind of come in and like be helpful to you as an artist. So you don't have to worry about that stuff. You're just
Yeah.
like, I'm just making the music, this is mine. Like the label doesn't own it, but you guys help me push it out,
Hmm.
get it on placements, you know what I mean? Get it in sync or whatever, stuff like that.
No, yeah, there's different things that can help you out with each one. Just kind of depends on your experience. If you liked what you experienced in one, or if not, you just act accordingly. You can stay there or leave or whatever
Mm,
have you. So it just depends on your experience.
okay.
Mm.
Curious too on what's next for you. What are you like focusing more on this project? Or are you working on stuff at the same time in the background? Or like what's going on currently for you?
Well, I'm always working on the next project. Like after the next project, I enjoy the little fruits of my labor for when I drop a project. But then after that, I just immediately start after promoting and doing all that, just work on the next one because I also have another one I want to drop. It's the album with Troubles, another collab album. It's called Cushion Comics Volume One in the Grass for the Kingpin. It's a really like another really good project. I'm excited about a lot of cool features on there,
Mhm.
and another hard copy we're gonna do as well. And especially everything I'm gonna drop is gonna have a hard copy. I'm never not gonna
Yeah.
drop a hard copy.
Yeah.
So like it's nothing I'm looking forward to. I'm also doing a collab album with my cousin Tragic One.
Okay.
So
Shout
we've
out Tragic.
shout out to Tragic. So like we have like a bunch of songs already uh like has have beats picked out for. So we already like started working on it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to drop that one. And of course I want to drop another solo, which I'm gonna take my time on because I want to make that one really good for
Hopefully
myself.
not another 4 years.
No, we'll see. I'm not gonna make any promises.
We'll see if I'll be podcasting. I'll probably have some kids by then. I don't know if I can
Facts, say
podcast.
like, oh man.
I'll have to like interview you in the backyard or something.
I know, right? While the kids hanging out, hey, don't run. Like,
I know. I'm like, instead of dogs, I'll be like, hey, turn it down.
you can see you in the background. Stop running around. Like,
No, that'd be cool though. But like,
hmm
I think it's cool though that you're still working on stuff. You know what I mean?
hmm
And like, What is the biggest takeaway from this experience of working on this project, working on it with another artist as well
Mhm.
as like other producers, and just like what's the overall takeaway from this experience?
It was just, like, cool to see where I'm at, when it comes to, like, the styles I wanna, like, develop, like, my sound,
Mhm.
like, because before I wasn't sure what my sound really was,
Yeah.
and then seeing, like, trying out different stuff that I have not normally have done, I can take each and every one that I really enjoyed and just apply it to my next project so I can evolve as an artist and, like, try out more stuff, be more spontaneous with the kinda style. If I wanna try singing or melodic stuff, I'll try it just to see if it works. So
Yeah.
I've seen the reaction to it, and if it didn't really jive with what I was trying to do, like, I just won't continue that. I'll just do something else. But
Yeah.
it lets me know like my trajectory of what the kind of artist I want to be.
Mhm.
How I want to present myself as well, because it put me up to a lot of views, a lot of new listeners to me. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a whole different platform. I was like in the little stages now, and I'm on like a much bigger stage. So
Mhm.
I gotta also be wary of like how I present myself to people.
Mhm.
Because it was just like, nothing I really took into account. Yeah, I might have like try to like, look a certain way, but like at the same time, like I know what works for me, and it helps me like curate myself to the artist I want to be, appearance
Yeah.
wise, music wise, and all that.
Yeah.
Mm,
How important is I mean, in a sense, it's kind of like branding. So, how
mm,
important is the branding to you, as well as like people watching? Because there's a
mhm,
lot of young artists that don't really know.
mhm.
That's just like one side of it, right? The
Yeah.
music is one side, but
Mm,
like the whole marketing and promoting and stuff like that. Like,
mhm.
how important is it? And then, do you have any tips for them?
It's super important. It's like probably one of the most important things along with the music, because especially with this project, it let me know like how he has his brand and how he's able to like present it. It's like, yo, like I gotta step my game up. I'm not doing enough to really like make a brand for myself. So
Mm,
that taught me to like, and it should teach a lot of people as well to like be wary of it and like see what kind of stuff helps your brand, what kind of stuff is helps it, just to make sure you're not like being a detriment to it, because
yeah.
it does help like keep people like your music will attract them people if they hear you, but your whole brand will keeps them there.
Mm,
Like Burner with cookies,
mm-hmm.
like that was a really big like brand, like
Yeah.
it's part of him.
People identify with it too.
Yeah,
Like
so
we have a lot of weed smokers out here in Cali.
exactly. So, like, that's why, like, getting back to the song, like, you remember that jingle, like, Chain Hang Low,
Mhm.
but they didn't have a brand behind it. It was just some dude making a song, so you're never gonna remember him. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's also for, like, longevity and, your legacy, like, you know, how you're gonna be remembered. That brand adds to it, and it helps, like, solidify that. So if you have a good brand that stands the test of time because you nurture it and you continue to, like, evolve it and make it better, like, that's gonna help out a lot, and it's gonna make it easier for people to like, check out your music more. If they enjoyed it, they stuck around for it, and then
Mhm.
you just give them new content, whether it
Yeah.
be a interview, music video, or album, whatever. Like it helps out. It's a very, very important thing to keep in mind.
Mhm. And
Mm.
people could follow you along with the ride.
Yeah,
You know what I
they see the
mean?
transition. Of the band was this at one point, now it's this. It's
Mhm.
gotten bigger. Now it's even bigger than the artist. Now
Mhm.
they just remember the brand. Like that's something you want to strive for.
Yep, yep. Do you have any last words for anybody watching out there that is like, "Wow, this has been a really good conversation and it's
Mhm,
inspiring to them." What would be something you'd want to share with them speaking to a young artist?
mhm. Follow your dreams, whatever it is, where you want to do music, where you want to do interviews, YouTube content, whatever it is that makes you happy in life, pursue it. Do whatever it takes to do it. Like whether you have to like work hard to like make money to like be able to like fund and finance your career, try to do it because you don't want to look back and like regret not doing something. Because I'm so happy I took the chance and I've
Mhm.
done all I've done and continue to do because I want to like look back and like fuck, I could have probably done something with that, like and I'm able to be one of the people who have done it and continue to do it. So that's one thing I want people to do. Just follow your dreams, pursue it. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid of backlash. Don't be like, putting yourself down if you don't think it's working. Continue to strive. The first years are going to be bumpy. It's not a straight line to success.
Mhm.
It's more of like a jagged thing, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's what I think every people should, strive for that.
Well said, well said. Where
Hmm.
can people find you, and where can people find you first, your
Hmm.
socials, and then I'll ask you one more question and then we'll close out.
Cool. You can find me on RecklessDWR on everything, just Instagram, YouTube. Everything will pop up there, RecklessDWR. And yeah, that's basically where you can find me.
Okay. Any last thoughts?
Um, shout out to all the camp of DWR, Delicious Recordings, of Vibe Control Studios, Troubles Music, Empire. Rest in peace, Tito B, and recently Kick Dog and 3300 PQ. And yeah, shout out to one again for having me on the interview.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? And
crazy.
So hopefully the next one will take 8.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I want to say thank you again for coming through, for being on the podcast. Also, just like for being just a cool friend. I've known you since literally like the beginning of my
and
music
I really
career.
like am so happy and proud of your progression throughout the whole years of doing music.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like you were always been a really dope artist, and I'm glad people are seeing that.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, yeah, I hope that this has inspired you guys out there watching. Please go follow Reckless. His information is going to be in the description, as well as check out his latest project with Lazyboy.
That's right.
Chasin A Bag.
That's right. That's what we'll be doing all the time.
Go
just
check
chase
it
the
out.
bag.
So with that, we'll leave you guys here and tune into the next episode. Thank you guys for checking it out. Peace.